Morning, I'm Steven Sprinkle. This is MorningBit. Let's get to it. Top 3 things I think are important today for Bitcoin. The first of which is CoinDesk asked its users whether they thought Bitcoin in 2014 could get to $10,000. And 56% of users who responded said that yes, they think it can get to that number. And why this is an interesting number is because it gives a gauge of what the community thinks around engagement for Bitcoin going into 2014, as well as the overall product creation and adoption rate of services that are creating unique opportunities around Bitcoin for both consumers and businesses. I tend to be in the camp of yes, I think it could grow in valuation. Whether it's $10,000 or not, I don't know, but I think it, based on the overall growth rates we've seen for Bitcoin thus far, it's not inconsistent for a likelihood of that happening. But also if you look at the overall engagement rates of consumers and businesses, as well as the rate of product and business creation and traction rates for those companies, I think it's consistent with an idea that Bitcoin could continue to grow in value. Now that is excluding the idea that potentially there's more regulation coming down from governments, as well as more intervention from existing financial institutions. Those are kind of the wild cards in this whole equation, which I don't see them stepping back and not becoming engaged. So there's going to be some interplay, and honestly, that's where most of the risk is created around Bitcoin right now. It's governments and financial institutions really in their interaction with Bitcoin. So I'm watching this. I'm really excited for it though. I think it's overall positive, and I hope you guys are watching it too. Second thing that I think is important today for Bitcoin, and that is the question of should you maintain anonymity with Bitcoin? Now, I've specifically taken the tact of no. I think personally it's okay for me to come out and publicly be talking about Bitcoin, talking about the projects I'm working on, talking about the different anonymity pieces that I'm working on building for the Bitcoin community. But others before me have taken the tact of no, it's safer for them not to. One mainly notable example is Satoshi Nakamoto, and he took the tact of anonymity, as well as some altcoin creators took the tact of anonymity. And I think it's a wise decision for them to have taken that tact because of the potential dangers from financial institutions as well as governmental agencies, and the disruptive nature of these digital currencies and how they interplay with those two institutions. So I think it's an important question that every individual has to ask, and I don't think it's appropriate for me to say what's right for you in that discussion, because it really depends on what you're doing with Bitcoin. I'm not encouraging any illicit activities, but I'm saying that the technologies that are coming around digital currencies are highly disruptive to those heavily entrenched agencies, financial institutions, and governments. So you really have to look at this question thoughtfully and decide for yourself. And then the third thing that I think is really important today for Bitcoin is a service called adcoin.me, and there's been a number of these services out there, but basically what it is it's a service that allows you to shorten URLs and then place advertisements when you navigate to those URLs. Now, I'm not a huge fan of placing advertisements and links at all, but it's a really cool idea for companies that do want to monetize some of their linkage. So it's a cool little service. The payout's actually pretty decent for major nations, but go check it out. I'll have a link to the discussion as well as the site itself. I apologize that I didn't put up a video yesterday. I had a series of meetings in the morning that went longer than expected, so I had to cut something, and unfortunately it ended up being the video for yesterday. But Happy New Year, everyone. I hope everybody's starting the year off great. If you're a project or a service and want to get featured on the show, send me a logo, send me some information. I'll talk about you, and I will see everybody tomorrow. Have a great day.